Good afternoon, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. We'll determine if probable cause exists for those charges. Probable cause simply means it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this afternoon, I presume that you're innocent to these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings unless and until the State Attorney's Office is able to prove the charges against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release this afternoon, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit of the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this afternoon. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. Do y'all solemnly swear or affirm, tell truth, whole truth, none but the truth? Outstanding. When I call your name, please step forward to the podium. You guys a plea, Bob? You want to go first? Sure. Juan Gomez. And you said a case number and a charge. Oh, I got it here. I got it.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Hello, Mr. Gomez.
Hey, Juan, Bob Morris. How are you? Can you hear me?
Hello, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, you're here today because you have a recommitment order from your misdemeanor possession of marijuana charge. That's what's keeping you in jail and what's keeping you from being able to be bonded out on these felony charges, which obviously are more serious in nature. What we can do today is we can resolve your misdemeanor case. It may add 0.2 of a point to your score sheet in the felony case. However, I do not think that that is going to be dispositive or impact you greatly either way. What it will allow you to do is to post bond on the felony cases. So as such, we're prepared to go forward today, if you would like to resolve the misdemeanor case so that you may bond out on the other charges. Is that something you'd like to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. What you're going to hear now is the State Attorney's Office is going to stand up and they're going to tell us that they want you to be in that jail for 365 days. We're not going to take the State Attorney's Office offer. What we're going to do, 364, I was one day off. We're not going to take their offer. We're going to be an open plea to the court. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Based on that foregoing, Your Honor, at this point in time, my client withdraws previously her plea of not guilty and her plea of no contest to the charge contained in the information.
And State, is there an offer?
Judge, the updated offer in the case 2019 MM1511 is an adjudication 364 days Hernando County Jail or resolved with the felony, fines, court cost prosecution. And if I may, he was RCO'd because he picked up possession of cannabis with intent to sell, possession of alprazolam with intent, possession of cocaine, possession of methamphetamine with intent, possession of paraphernalia. That case is not set till arraignment for 219, but upon looking at the notes from first appearance, he did make an admission. Everything I had wasn't for sale. Thus, that's why the state right now is asking 364 days. As to his prior history, he has a delinquency PTI for resisting without in 2017, and an action for paraphernalia in 2017 was well crossed. Again, the state's position would be we would be asking for jail time. Obviously, based on what I have here, we're asking for the max. And again, it's based on his new felony case.
Okay.
All right. If I may briefly.
I just want to know how long he's been in jail.
How many days you been in jail?
I've been in here since January 22nd.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Bob.
Basically, Your Honor, what I hear the state saying is they're wanting to punish him for crimes that he has not even been formally charged with or convicted of yet, and as such, the court should not take those into consideration. What I also heard the state saying is that he has no prior convictions and nor even any prior withholds. So in essence, he has no record. And would be asking the court to withhold adjudication, enter a credit time served sentence for 10 days, and minimum fine and court costs.
Okay. All right. Juan, you understand by entering a plea, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent. You're willing to give up those rights so we can take care of these misdemeanor charges today?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Had enough time to speak to him and he's answered any questions you have?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Case number 19MM1511. As to the charge in count 1 of possession of marijuana, how do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
You're wanting to
Yes,
plead no
sir.
contest. Is what he's asking you to say, no contest.
Right. And as to charge in count 2, possession of paraphernalia, how do you wish to plead? You may also plead no contest. Yes? Yes.
Yes.
Very good. I'll accept those pleas. I'll find they're freely and voluntarily made. Let's see. As to count 1, I'm going to withhold adjudication. As to count 2, I'll adjudicate you guilty and I'll sentence you to 20 days in the county jail. Credit 20 days served. Fine and court costs on count 1 is $550. Count 2 is $88. And your cost of incarceration. That takes care of the misdemeanor case 1. If there's now, you should be able to post bond on any other cases that you currently have pending. All right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Bond, get with your dad. Come see me.
Okay.
And by the way, I think when someone says everything I had wasn't for sale, is really a mission of anything. Could they talk about shoes? Could they talk about socks? Could they talk about a car?
That'd be good weed. That's a circuit court issue.
Yeah.
Cheyenne, Jericho. Morning, young lady. What's your date of birth?
May 2nd, 1992.
And the charge is battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. State, what can you tell me?
There was a dropped battery. The battery occurred in 2016, was dropped in 2018 for successful completion on the PTI program. That's
Okay. Cheyenne, I have an address for you on Croom Road. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you been there?
Since 2016.
Okay. And does Jacob live there with you?
No.
Okay. He moved out already?
Well, I moved out.
You moved out. Okay. Where do you stay now?
Well, I
You're staying at Croom Road. You guys haven't shared a residence in a while.
No.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
Yes.
What do you do?
I'm a cook at Zaxby's.
Okay. All right. I'm going to set your bond, Cheyenne, at $500. Condition is, while this charge is pending, that you have no contact with Jacob. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message. Don't contact him through any social media. Don't go where he lives. Don't go where he works. Don't have contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting him, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. It means no contact even if he wants to contact. So if you answer your phone and hear his voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see him, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that he cannot drop the charges against you. That is not a decision he gets to make. He may go to the state attorney's office and ask them to drop the charges, but that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge in your case tells you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, I have to hold you this afternoon up until 4 p.m. so that if you wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact, because in that case, not only would you get your bond revoked here, but you could get new charges for violating the injunction. I'm going to have you back in court on March 6th. Very important that you contact the public defender's office after you get out, all right?
And Judge, if I may, both yourself and Judge Healis have arraignment that day, which...
C.
Thank you, Judge.
How did that happen?
I
All right, very good. Thanks, Cheyenne. Okay. And Gabrielle Scurry. What's your date of birth?
September 22nd, 1990.
All right. Young lady, I have 2 charges today. I've got a DUI and driving on a suspended license. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD. State, what do you got?
Showing a withhold of cannabis and a withhold driving while license suspended from September of 2019 out of Madison County. Naxton was also known for possession of controlled substance in that case. Naxton was dismissed in 2017 for petty theft out of Hillsborough. Withhold petty theft 2017 out of Hillsborough. Withhold cannabis out of Hillsborough 2017. Adjudication driving while license suspended 2017 out of Hillsborough. Adjudication driving while license suspended 2013 out of Sarasota. Withhold driving while license suspended 2010 out of Sarasota. There's also some delinquency history in state, and that's all I'm showing, Judge.
Okay. All right. And young lady, looks like I have an address for you on North 50th Street in Tampa. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you been there?
For almost 3 years now.
Okay. And you have a job these days?
No, I'm in the process of going through like Social Security
Okay.
due to my illness.
Okay. Set your bond at $500 on each count. That's a total of $1,000. I'll have you back in court in courtroom C on the 6th of March. Make sure you contact the PD when you get out. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Michael Shire. Want to, sir, what's your date of birth?
2/10/85.
Michael, I have 2 charges today: possession of hashish, possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
PD.
I'll point the PD. State what you got.
Was an adjudication for burglary of a conveyance in December 2018 out of Hernando that also had a dropped burglary, possession of tools. There was a violation of probation on that case. There was an adjudication receiving stolen credit card debit information. 2018, also a violation of probation. An action adjudication for loitering and prowling 2018 out of Hernando. Adjudication paraphernalia 2018 out of Hernando. Adjudication false name to law enforcement 2018 out of Hernando. And just for the record, those were not all the same day. That was throughout the end of the year.
Okay.
Adjudication felony battery 2017 out of Hernando. Adjudication battery 2015 out of Hernando. Adjudication false report to law enforcement 2015 out of Hernando. And he's a multi-source offender. There's an adjudication for criminal possession of a weapon firearm 2006. An adjudication for criminal trespass 2006. An adjudication for driving while intoxicated 2010. And in 2009, there was an arrest for endangering the welfare of a child, but I don't have a disposition as to that case.
So, Michael, where you been staying lately? You been staying with friends or living outdoors? What's going on?
It's kind of all over the place.
Okay. Any place more than someplace else?
Excuse me?
Any place that you stay more than someplace else? Someplace you might get mail, for instance.
No, I just got released from prison not too long ago, and it's kind of, being a felon, it's tough.
Okay. You got a job these days?
No, I do not.
Set the bonds at $1,000 and $500 respectively for a total of $1,500. You'll be back in court on March 11th. If you're able to get out, contact the PD. If you can't get out, they'll come see you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Brady Odom.
How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I've been better.
What's your date of birth?
7/16/96.
All right. So let's see. All right. So Brady, the first thing I have is a warrant signed by Judge Toner. Apparently, he failed to appear in his court on 3 counts: possession of controlled substance, possession of marijuana, and trespass. As to those charges, you're going to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
I'd like to hire private counsel.
All right.
Can I finish it today? Can I
No.
finish this today?
These are all felony charges, Brady. I can't do them at first appearance.
Alright, no, that's fine.
So the
Sorry.
bonds on Judge Toner's warrant are 10,000, 2,000, and 2,000 respectively. That's a total of 14. What's the return date for Toner? It is the 11th, right?
Yes, sir.
What time? Okay. I'll have you back in court on those on March 11th. Okay. And then next we have new charges for grand theft, possession of meth, possession of controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia, resisting without, and a burglary. There's probable cause for all those charges. As to those charges, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
A private counsel.
Very good. And state, what can you tell me?
Aside from the open case, he has an adjudication for resisting without violence 2018 out of Hernando, adjudication for driving while license suspended 2018 out of Pasco, adjudication for DUI enhanced and no valid driver's license 2015 out of Hernando. That originally, and there's delinquency, dealing in stolen property, and throwing a deadly missile. And the deadly missile was a PTI in 2011, and dealing in stolen property was 2012. Delinquency.
Okay. And Brady, is there some place in particular you've been staying lately?
24441 or 24441 Islewood
Okay.
Drive.
How long have you been there?
A month or two.
Okay. And do you have a job these days?
I not on books. I just do stuff for my aunt. She owns a shop.
Okay. Alright. So starting with the grand theft, the meth and controlled substance, I'll leave those all at 2. Paraphernalia and resisting at 1 each. And then on the burglary at 2, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, plus the 14 on the other one. The total is 24,000. All of those coming back March 11th. So when you speak to your attorney, make sure you tell him about that date, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.